I really like it. Amazing. Hello and welcome back to Assetto Hub. This is gonna be a tough one. This is probably one of the most fun cars from the M division, but it has the most controversial new styling from BMW. So let's have a look. What do we have here? The younger brother in the M division. Probably one of the most beloved cars there is. As it is affordable, small, rear wheel driven and really quick. But the 2023 version gained a bit of weight and it looks like the Botox treatment went wrong. So, is it still worth it? Yeah, I definitely think it is still worth it. This is the 2023 BMW M2, the all-new, smallest M car. And it is such a fantastic car, to be honest. Let's just start off with the most controversial thing, of course, the styling of the car. You either love it or you hate it, and I think most people hate it. But I think it actually grown on me as it is different. And yeah, if you compare it to the M4 or the M3, it's probably not as pretty. But if you do compare it to the older M2, I think it looks actually pretty great. It is really square instead of more aerodynamic looking round. But yeah, I think it's not too bad, to be honest. So let's continue with the exterior. Now that's out of the way. A few interesting facts is that it is actually the same width as a new BMW M4, but it is of course shorter, as it is 11 centimeters wider than the previous generation M2, but it is the same length. So that's a pretty interesting fact actually about this car. As I said in my introduction, the car gained a bit of weight as it is more than 100 kilos heavier than the older generation, but let's not forget it is also way more powerful than the older generation. It has a twin-turbo inline 6-cylinder engine from the M3 actually, which is quite interesting as well. But it has 460 horsepower and 550 Newton meters of torque. And 460 horsepower means that it is almost 100 horsepower more than the older generation. And if you compare it to the weight, I think it is decent enough for this car to still have fun with. A few other interesting things about this car, that actually the M3 and M4 are only coming in automatic transmission, but this one comes with automatic and manual as well. As I said in the introduction, it is a rear wheel driven car, of course, so you can have a lot of fun with it, and that's one thing what I really enjoy about this car. I really can recommend to drive this car on smaller tracks with traction control off, obviously, so you can throw it around the corners. The car is really quick and it just feels like it wants to have fun as well. It's not very serious as it looks, well, I don't know if you can say it looks more serious now with the new styling, of course. I think it looks more grown up, more modern than the older one. I always thought the older one looks really like a smaller M car, as it is of course the smallest M car, but now I think it's its own car, and it's what I really like about this new M2. The car is made by Seki Performance, this mod, and it is, well, a fantastic mod. It's a beautiful mod. All the details are correct. Like I said before, all the stats as they are in real life, they are in the mod as well. You have of course the new BMW entertainment system in the center, in the cluster in front of me, and you can actually change it to a different one, which is a really one. So you have the normal one and the sport one, which is a great add-on to this mod. Then on the right you have the media center, the Android system as well, of course, with the standard, the maps, the pictures, Spotify, YouTube, everything you want in the Android car system. Then And another option you have on the car as well is the heads-up display. I reviewed it in my top 10 clusters. I had the BMW M4 CSL, great car from Seiki Performance, and this one has it as well. Once again, I'm not the biggest fan of the heads-up display, as in the game it distracts me a little bit, and I think it's a bit in front of you, or a little bit too much in front of your view actually, but it's a nice add-on actually. Then the rest of the car, you have the ambient lighting, which is beautiful. You can open the hood, where you can see the really detailed engine, and of course the engine as it is in real life as well. Then on the sides, on the interior, on the doors, you have beautiful M stitching with the M brand, which is beautifully done by Seiki Performance as well. Oh, went a bit wrong there. Anyway, car's made to have to drive it like this, of course. So speed wise, what is this car about? Well, it goes from 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds. This one, the automatic version, and it has a top speed of 250 kilometers per hour, as it is limited. The manual version goes to 0 to 100 in 4.6 seconds, so it is slightly slower. But in the mod we don't have a manual version yet, and I hope that Seiki Performance will release a manual version upon the official release, as this is the pre-release or the Patreon release already. So if you want the car, I will link down the Patreon link for Seiki Performance down in the link below, so you can get it yourself, which I can highly recommend. It's such a beautiful car. The inside of the carbon fiber, it's so cool. I really like it. The new cluster in the middle as well, it just looks fantastic, and I think I even like the normal version. Oh, it's the heads-up display. Yeah, I think I even like the normal version more than the sport version actually. So what is this car for? Well, you can fill it in however you want. You can do a lot with this car. In the video for the BMW M4 CSL I said I was, well, slightly disappointed with Seiki Performance when I saw he released a BMW, as there are so many BMWs released into the community. But I said with the CSL as well, these are special cars. These are not just ordinary M cars or ordinary M3s that are released a lot, but these are really, really special cars. This M2 as well, it's of course, it's not as fast as a Ferrari or quick as another track car, but on a small circuit, on a small track, I'm not sure if there's anything better to drive than this, really. And that's probably the whole point about this car. Small track, traction control off, forget about lap times, and just have fun with this car. And that's what I really like about it. Oh. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye. Woohoo!